what everybody seems to be talking about this morning, it's last night.
Nationally syndicated film critic Ryan J. is here with his thoughts on the Oscar winners and losers and men running around in underwear.
What is up with that? You know what? If you're going to wear tighty whities on national television, I thought he looked pretty good in them. I got to say.
He looked fantastic just off of his Broadway, Tony-winning run in Hedwig and the Angry Inch, so he is built. Yeah. And that was a spoof on Birdman. Right. So if you'd seen Birdman, you got it.
And he did look a little better in underwear tan Michael Keaton, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, he's also about 20 years younger, right?
Right.
So.
That helps. Yeah. How do you think he did as the host?
I liked him a lot. I know that people are sort of divided on social media, but I thought he brought a lot of great energy. I loved his opening production number. That was a musical number written by Robert Lopez and his wife Kristen Anderson Lopez, the songwriting duo behind Frozen and all the music in Frozen. And it was just hilarious. I loved seeing Anna Kendrick up there, and then Jack Black, getting up there and doing a song.
Who has a great voice.
Fantastic.
He is amazing. And all the special effects on the stage during that number were really terrific.
Inside of all the classic movies. So I thought it was off to a great start. He did, waver a little bit. He messed up some names. He had that whole bit with the briefcase that went on way too long.
And some of his jokes I didn't think landed.
You thought they fell kind of flat?
Yeah, there was times where I felt kind of awkward. Sometimes you got your finger on the mute button just thinking, I can't watch this anymore. He's not funny.
He had some brilliant moments, though, too. Like, immediately after the whole awkward, moment with Idina Menzel and John Travolta, which was my favorite moment in the entire show. As soon as it was over, Neil Patrick Harris walked out and said, now John Travolta's got to come back next year and apologize to Idina for touching her face so much. Right?
That was very funny.
Speaking of awkward, I felt during the Dakota Johnson and Melanie Griffith, when they were talking about whether or not Melanie, as her mother, would see her in 50 Shades of Grey. They kind of argued there in the interview.
On the red carpet. It's so true. I mean, no one's hotter right now than Dakota Johnson. She shows up with her mother as her date, and it was really cool to see them together. I don't know if I buy it. Do you really think that you're Melanie Griffith and you have not seen your daughter's new movie? It's
well, I don't know if I buy it either, but when she was kind of like, oh, Mom, maybe later on you'll want to see it or you'll be able to whatever, and she's like, no, and then they kind of argued.
Yeah, she's like, I don't need to see that to know that she's a good actress.
If it was a shtick, I don't think it worked. No. I think they would have been better off if they had maybe chatted a few minutes ahead of time and said, even if you haven't seen it, just lie.
Something.
Say something.
It was very, very awkward and uncomfortable, and I think it made us feel uncomfortable, which was, never the point.
I think so, too.
That's true.
So Birdman, the big winner with Best Picture.
Was
that
so
a surprise
excited
for
about
you?
it. Yes, I hate Boyhood. So, I was sure. I mean, I'd have put money down on Boyhood winning Best Picture, and it didn't. And I'm so glad because I love Birdman. It's so artistic. It's really a great, cool movie that when you saw it in the theaters, you thought like, oh, this is special.
I thought
this is something.
Too, and I thought it had elements of magical realism where you've got the reality infused with some fabulous.
It's a very rare genre to see magical realism in theater or in film, and this is the perfect example of that subgenre. And it was so well done, and I'm so glad that it got all the credit that it did. So as surprising as it was to have Birdman win Best Picture, which was fantastic, it was equally surprising to have Eddie Redmayne win Best Actor.
And he was so excited.
Yeah, he was really thrilled. I thought that was very, very sweet.
Yeah, his turning to the Oscar and shouting "Wow" was almost better than seeing anyone cry during their speech, because I usually like it when someone cries during the show. We didn't really have many tears last night. We had some people crying after the performances.
But I have to ask you, and this is kind of my pet peeve when I watch people at these award shows, why do they always bend down to the microphone?
I know, and they're instructed not to do that.
Oh, they are? Stand up straight. Even, and I noticed it a lot with him. And I know he was excited and he wasn't thinking. And we'll cut you some breaks, Eddie.
I think that's kind of a natural reaction if it's shorter than you are to want people
But you don't need to.
They don't need to. Those mics are so powerful, and they're like, I think it's called omnidirectional, where no matter where you are, the microphone's going to pick up your voice. So you can kind of just be yourself and not worry about it, but they do. They get kind of nervous and lean in.
He was awesome.
Patricia Arquette, that was not a surprise that she won.
No, she was a sweep across the season, and it was really nice to see her win, and she took full advantage of her speech and made a political statement, which I thought was fantastic about equal pay for women.
Which was great. Fabulous.
And fun to see. As you guys noted earlier, fun to see Meryl Streep rooting for that. So that was really good.
There were a lot of people whose speeches had a little bit of a political component too, didn't you think?
Right. Also, Graham Moore, who won Best Adapted Screenplay for The Imitation Game, was one of my other favorite moments of the show. I got choked up. I was actually emotional a few times, and I don't cry during movies or anything. But last night, especially when he spoke and he did his you know, stay weird, stay different. I hashtagged that
I know,
immediately.
I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah. And for him to come out and admit that he attempted suicide, I think there's a big stigma about that. A lot of people are not open about something like that. But for him to come out and say that, I think does so much.
In that moment, and you know there are people out there, I mean, that are watching. There are kids that are watching, and there's someone that's having that thought. And if even one person that was thinking that or feeling that way sees that and is inspired, it's just like I get choked up again right now.
It was definitely a highlight.
Yeah,
really
I
want to briefly mention Julianne Moore in Still Alice. I think a lot of people were excited she won. There was a standing ovation for her.
Yeah, and it was about time. So, you know, she's been in so many great roles, right? So, so nominated, and so it was so well deserved. It was really her moment, and she looked great, and she sounded great, and handled it with class, and I wanted her to cry, and she didn't. Yeah. But it was great.
Yeah, really and then Whiplash. That's one that you love. I haven't seen that yet.
I love that. That was one of my favorite movies.
Among all the Best Picture nominees this award season, Whiplash is the one that is the sure bet crowd pleaser. Everyone that sees it loves this movie. It's like a music movie that runs like an action film. It has.
Didn't you get really tense?
Super intense.
Super tense through that whole movie. It made me. And I wondered if it was because of the drumming. You know, it sort of keep pace. The faster it got, the more you were like,
your heart's like
your
heart's pumping.
So really great. So J.K. Simmons also sweeping award season, and deservedly so, because that was the role of a lifetime for him. It was sort of like when Monique won for Precious. You know, it's like J.K. Simmons winning.
Yeah,
for
well,
Whiplash.
I haven't seen Whiplash. I saw The Judge, and I thought Robert Duvall maybe deserved the nod there. But again, I haven't seen Whiplash. So
no, they were all good. It's just interesting to note that both Birdman and Grand Budapest Hotel were both nominated for 9 categories, and they both won 4.
That's interesting.
That's cool.
So they kind of split it.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Ryan, so much.
Ryan.
You're not going anywhere. We're going to keep you right there because we're not done with our Oscar fun yet. Just yet, Ryan is going to stick around to do what he does best. He's going to critique the fashion. He's got a little help, too, because Milwaukee stylist Paul Weirish is here with us. We love that. So do we agree or do we disagree about the red carpet looks? We're going to hash it out coming up next. Stay with us.